This is the orientation video for STA 2023, the elementary statistics, and I'm Dr. Condor. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time going over the contents of the course and the student requirements and the schedule and what you can expect. And I won't be able to answer all of your questions, but hopefully enough to get you started and going in the course. And then if you have other questions um, about the course, you can always, of course, email me. So here we're looking at the Canvas homepage, and I use Canvas for the learning management system for the course. And just a note here, this says elementary statistics, section 340 is the CRN number, but this may or may not be your course. This is just that happens to be the um, Canvas course that I'm using to do the orientation video. So again, when you go to Canvas uh, and look at your course, you'll see there'll be a number. Again, it may be 34061, it may not be. That doesn't matter. All the sections are run, my sections are run exactly the same. So they all have the same content. So it's very important that you go to Canvas to get information and start with the announcements. Okay, so we're going to go to over here and click on announcements. And I can't stress enough how important it is that you always check the announcements because when I don't put up weekly announcements, then I always get a lot of questions from students on when the exams are and what has to be turned in and what they have to do. And sometimes students ask me those questions after it's too late, and then we've already had an exam, and then they want to know when it is, and then it is too late. You can't take the exams after the due dates, and you can't turn in work after the due dates, and so on. So it's very important that you look at the announcements, and I put up announcements every week. Normally at the very beginning of the week. And for example, you will see here an announcement. There's a course introduction. And again, in this course introduction, there's just some very basic information about me using Canvas. And again, how we're getting ready to go in the course. So I'm going to go back. And then for week one, there's another announcement that talks about a lot of the questions that I do get from students. And these are from students that, from the last semester, that asked me questions during week one. And then, so I wanted to kind of put those out in advance. And they were things that students must not have gotten the information from my orientation video. So I decided to add those in, again, an announcement. And um, we'll go back, and then again, this more week one information talks about the things that you should be doing during week one of the course. And so whether this is you're in a 6-week or 12-week or 16-week course, there are certain things that you need to be doing on a weekly basis. That's how the course is set up. And again, whether you're doing the online or SCF Live or uh, in the classroom, again, everybody kind of follows the same schedule. And so you'll see, again, the dates on here, these may or may not be the ones for your course. These are a summer A course, but again, the content here that's listed is what you really want to look at when you go into your Canvas course and you look at the syllabus. Very important, look at the syllabus, and you look under week one, you'll see some sections listed. So these are the homework sections and the sections that you're to read in the course, textbook or ebook. And then you'll see there's due dates in the program, my math lab program or my lab statistics program, that tells you when you should have those done. And so, for example, um, for this particular section, you'll see that 1-1, there are no 1-1 homework sections. So that section you just read. There's some things in there you need to read and know my math lab homework. So you go on and then read that and then go to section 1.2, types of data, and you'll see there is section 1.2 homework in my lab statistics. And that is due on here, again, for this particular section, it's due 5/16/22 by 11:59 p.m. and so on. So this is just to give you an idea of what you should get started on and be working on and when those things are due. And then I'll get into a little bit more detail and more on the grading, but this discusses a little bit of the grading and the due dates and so on. So we're going to come back to that. And let's go back. And there'll always be announcements too about the assignments that are coming up. Other than the homework, you have the homework assignments. And these are the things that I put on Canvas to help you prepare for the project. And you'll see like Unit 1 project, there's a project video, and there's a review and a formative guide to help you get going on the exam. So I remind you of that. And again, talk about the grading and when these things are due. So for example, project 1 is on Canvas, and you'll put those answers in. You can work on it at any time. It's already up in the course, but the answers, you put them into Canvas, and they can be turned in anytime, Saturday, May 14th or Sunday, May 15th by 11:59. So we're going to put all the assignments that are not in my stat lab, the projects and the exams, those will all be done in Canvas, okay? And their title is a quiz. Again, so this is just a reminder. So I'll be giving you a lot of information in the announcements, reminders, things that are in addition to what's listed on the syllabus and your tentative schedule. And again, here's another announcement on the Unit 1 project and the Unit 1 exam. And again, so you should always know what's coming up for you on a weekly basis. And so I'm going to go back to the home on Canvas. And you'll see students are required to read the weekly course announcements. And if you have to have questions, here's my email address. This link, Student Services, is lots of things students may need information on: the library, the academic calendar, student services, and so on. So these are just some helpful links that students access. These you don't really need for the course, but there may be something that comes up where these may help you. So we're going to go past these links and look at this HonorLock module. Now, HonorLock is a program that you run while you're taking an exam on your computer. And there's information here on how to get started, lots of information. So no need to worry about HonorLock right now. Some of you have already used it, but if you haven't, there's an overview and steps that take step by step, tells you how to get going on that. And once you run through that, you catch on pretty quickly. We won't use HonorLock for all of the exams. We won't use it for the first exam. And then after that, we'll see what happens. But we're required by the department, every teacher is in our department, to use honor roll. So I don't have a choice. Now, how many times I use it, I do have a choice, and we're not going to use it for the first exam. So we're going to put that away for now. We'll come back to it. And then office hour link, I can meet with students. We don't meet on campus for the live, SCF live sections or the online, strictly online courses. So you can communicate with me on Teams using this link. And I usually set aside Fridays from 10 to 2, but actually we can set up other times than that. I'm going to be around most of the time this summer during the day. So if you do have time and you have questions and you want to talk with me on things, then we'll use this link and use the Microsoft Teams. Now, here's a getting started information sheet. So you want to look at that. Again, I'm not going to go through all this in detail. This is for you to take your time and go through that, but you can download these or you can read them within Canvas. Sometimes they don't read very well in Canvas, so if you click up here, then it downloads it as a Word file and you can save it and so on. But this is just basically talking about Canvas, which is a great learning management system. It's worked very well to college, and I think you'll like it. I don't have never heard any students complain about it. So Canvas works well. The course software, this talks about that. This is my lab. It used to be called my stat lab, my math lab, statistics, and so on. Sometimes I use all three terms, but basically right now it's evolved into my lab for statistics, and you have to register and pay for that. And that has your book, your ebook, and everything that you need for the learning resources from Pearson. Okay, and here's what it looks like when you click on the link. If you get to that, you know you're going into the right place, and you sign in, and you can register there. And there's links here to help you get going. So even if you get here and you say, I don't know what to do, well, Pearson has a very good help system, and they do a great job. So typically, if you have something concerns about Pearson program, get in touch with them first. They're experts at it. I'm not in the technical side of it. Now, the statistics side, I will answer all your questions. But as far as the software and how to run it and things, they can answer any question you can come up with. They're very, very good. I've been doing this for a long time. And this is just talking about Pearson. And we also have the SCF Academic Resource Center that can help you with tutoring and with answering a lot of questions, because we've been using this for a long time. Pearson has been around a long time in math education, and I've probably used this at least 15 years with statistics. So most of the bugs and stuff are ironed out, and it runs pretty smoothly. All right, let's go back to the home page. And of course, if you're listening to this, then you're listening to the orientation video, which is there. The course software, MyLab Statistics. Again, this is just some links to get you into Pearson's site. And when you go in to register, they're going to ask you, what's your instructor course ID? Now, for this section that I'm doing the video with, their instructor course ID is Condor 72207. You may be in a different section, but regardless, go to your Canvas homepage, scroll down, and you will see your instructor course ID. It will say Condor, then 5 numbers. Everybody goes in the same. Even instructors, even when I had to go in, I had to put my name and put in the numbers and get my permanent ID and so on and all that stuff. So, and then here is a getting started with MyLab links, which shows you how to go around and operate in some of the features of the MyLab software. It's a great program. It's not perfect uh, because they're always updating it, and then we find some little things here and there. But basically, it has lots of great resources for the course. Some you might like. Some students like some things. Sometimes they like videos. Sometimes other students say, I don't really like the videos so much. I like doing little practice quizzes and so on. But you want to get in and try all of the different resources, the learning resources, because that's it when you don't come to class. Now, if you're coming to class and you're listening to the lecture with the instructor, you can get help right away. If you're on live, sometimes you can, get some questions answered there, or strictly online, you kind of got to email or go to Teams or try to find some way to get that information. And even if Pearson doesn't seem to have the information you like, there's additional reference materials here. This Statology website is one of the best ones I found out for the elementary statistics course. So here's more information, and this is the link to take you there. There's a manual that I wrote for the TI 384 for help there, and the link to the textbook if you want to buy the hardcover book. Some students, they buy the ebook with the My Stat Lab registration when they go into here, but they say, I like a hardcover book. I like a feeling of a book in my hands. I don't, want to like look at the computer and do my math, and you can do that, although it's expensive. I think the stat textbooks, a couple $100. So, but this will take you to where you can purchase that at. And then more stuff, and really the most important thing. So when you begin the course, the first week, everything's broken up by week. We have Unit 1 and Unit 2 and Unit 3, and this stuff won't all show up all at once. I do it a week at a time, but there's 5 units. There'll be 5 exams, so it's set up by exam. And for Unit 1, you'll see that I put some videos of my own out there. So here's an introduction, and this is the things that I talk about when I lecture in this classroom. And if you're in the classroom, it's pretty much the same stuff. If not, then this is information that's not, the book. It's just I fill it in and give you some, pull it all together for you in the videos. And here's the types of variable video and tables, graphs, and charts video, and so on. So, and how to enter data for what's going to be on the first exam only. So this TI 84 information is needed for the first exam. This is needed for the first exam. This descriptive statistics video shows you how to use your calculator for what you need for the first exam. So this is all set up very well, and students usually don't have any calculator issues on the first exam. Now, the project, you get points for the projects. So these you need to be able to get to and complete. So I'm going to click on this, and we'll see if it opens up in here okay. And again, if it doesn't, you can just download it. It's a Word file. But you'll see here's a project, and here's some information about what this data is. and then you answer these questions. Now remember, you work this out, print out the project, complete it, then submit your answers in Canvas. Okay, and I'll show you where that'll happen at. Okay, so there'll be 5 projects and maybe 6 for the elementary stats course. And again, in Canvas, they're going to be multiple choice answers, so you don't have to worry about typing anything in or whatever. I tried that at one time, didn't work too well. So the multiple choice answers have been working much better. And so these are questions. Again, you fill them all out. Then you go to Canvas and put the answers in when it tells you to. Okay, so every unit you have a project due. There's a video talks about how to do that. And of course, these answer keys I'll put up afterwards. I can't give you the answers up front. All right, you're going to get graded on the answers. But also, this review is to help you review for the test. Here's a formative guide for, you don't get points for these. This is just review. You have a formative guide that you really need to do. So don't ignore this information and don't ignore and don't skip these when you're preparing for the exam. And then you can take it, check your answers. You do get these answers. And then you'll know if you're ready for that Unit 1 exam. If you do well on the formative guide, you'll do well on the Unit 1 exam. And then it continues on that way each unit throughout the entire course. So videos, project, reviews, formative guides, and then your exam. And you'll also be working on the My Stat Lab homework, which you get points for also. So I'm going to pull up the syllabus. So the summer A, this is summer A, but the syllabi, regardless of you may be in summer B, summer C, you may be in the fall, this video I use for like an entire year because nothing changes. Usually everything runs the same for a whole year, and then we make changes. And let me pull this over here. There we go. Okay. So the syllabus, again, has a lot of the same information on it. You know, Dr. Condor in my office, sometimes I'll be in there during the summer, but typically not. But you can call there. The best way to get in touch with me is really just email. Make sure you're very specific on what you want. And you'd be surprised how many people just mail me and say, did you get that information I send you? And like, that's all they say. Did you get, when's our quiz? They won't, I won't even know what course they're in. And they'll just say like, when's our quiz? I mean, I teach different sections of different courses, and I don't know all my students. I have hundreds of students. So try to remember that when you email me. I need kind of specific information. And you can look through most of this stuff. We don't need to go over again. We do need to talk about the graphing calculator. You need a calculator, and you need a special calculator. We recommend the TI 83, 83 plus, or 84. You don't have to get those, but you need to find a calculator that will do all of the statistics, not some, because there's a lot of calculators out there that will do some of the statistics, but you need one that will do all the statistics for the course. we will be using a lot of the statistical functions and hypothesis testing, especially. If your calculator doesn't do hypothesis testing, then it's not going to work. Um, so um, basically, you need to get a calculator, okay? And if you can't get one of these, you can borrow. There's nothing wrong with getting used ones. You can go online and rent them actually for a semester. You can borrow them from people. There are millions of TI 83s and 84s around. There's literally millions and millions of them around. You probably could find somebody that's got one you could borrow, or you can purchase them. Target usually puts them on sale every now and then. Go on Amazon or check even. Um, I had a student tell me once they went to a pawn shop and got one for $20. So I would definitely check. Now, the MyLab, we talked about that. Now let's look at the testing. 4 unit exams, 1 final exam. The reality of it is 4 and 1, there's really 5 unit exams. It is not a cumulative final like you would think. It's just really you have 5 unit exams. That's it. No makeups, no quizzes. If you miss an exam, you will the other 4 average of the other 4 will be used for the grade of the one you missed. That's just if you have a legitimate excuse. So if you just say, I forgot, sorry, can I take the exam? I'll say no. Okay. But I do realize sometimes things come up and that happens. And if it really is something you can document, I'm more than happy to help you out with averaging the grades of the other ones. So you will have 4 exams in a final. You'll have 5 60-point exams, which are 300 points, and then projects in the MyLab homework total up to 100 points. So you'll have 400 points total. And it's just your points divided by 400 to give you your percentage for the grade. So again, projects, homework, exams make up your grade for the course. Now, the MyLab homework, I get questions on this all the time, and I don't know if people don't read the syllabus or they don't understand it. But the MyLab homework points are awarded as follows. Students must correctly complete at least 90% of the problems in a homework section to receive any credit. So if you go through every section in the course, doing 30 or 40% of the problems in each section, and you say, well, at least I get 30% of the points. No, you get nothing. You get 0. Again, you have to pretty much do all of a section to get credit, 2 points. Okay. Total possible points, the homework's 50. Okay. Now, why is it 90%? Why is it so high? What if you're not? Well, you can redo the problems over and over again, right? It's not like you can't eventually figure it out. These problems, there's help me solve this, there's show me an example. They will guide you through. You can look at the videos, you can go to the ARC, or you can get tutoring. You can. And again, if it's something that you think there's something that's little you're missing, you email me. I'll be glad to help too. It's just that I can't promise every student that I'll be there to answer all your homework questions all the time when I have hundreds of students and could end up getting thousands of questions in a short semester. It's really impossible. Instructor just can't. Literally don't have time to answer all of the questions for all of the students that I teach. So you have to take advantage of the resources in the My Stat Lab, take advantage of the things that are on my Canvas homepage, and try your best to find solutions. And if all else fails, then I'll be glad to work with you. Now, the required initial assignment, it's by law. State law says that if you sign up for a course and you don't do anything, then you'll be withdrawn. So that's the bottom line. Uh, it's financial aid issue. You can't just sign up, get financial aid, and then say, I'm not going to do anything. They don't like that, and they require us to check to see that you're doing something. So first week, you have to get in, register for my labs, and complete the week 1 homework by 5/16, okay? Or you will be withdrawn from the course as a no-show. So that is the absolute no-show policy. Whether you're online student, or whether you're on SCF Live, whether you're on campus, you need to be doing something. Now, typically, the policy is that if you're inactive for at least 10 days in a row, anytime during a semester, you'll be withdrawn. But just keep in touch with me because I realize sometimes things come up and it's just kind of a mess. But again, if you have some documentation and we can get you, through the course, great. We want to try to get everybody through, but if you're just not doing anything, we also want to get those students out of the course. Technical support, you can read that. Technology requirements. Honor lock, again, we will use honor lock for some of the exam. That's the best I can tell you right now. How many exactly? I don't know. It's 3, 4 of them, 2, at least 2. I can tell you that, at least 2. Okay, probably 3. Recording, you can use that. My videos are online, so basically the stuff I talk about is recorded, and this video is recorded. So withdrawal, you can read the withdrawal policy. Don't expect the faculty to withdraw you. If it's very important that you withdraw, make sure that you do that and get it taken care of, because I, again, have lots of students and you may have 1 or 2 courses that you're dealing with. And so I can't, promise that I'm going to withdraw you exactly when you should be withdrawn, so you're getting your financial aid or it's not getting, impacted. So again, don't assume the instructor is getting those withdrawals in when they're have to be in. Employee disability resources, there's a site there, and you can read all that stuff about copyright. Okay, the tentative schedule. Now this schedule, I have no plans on changing unless, again, some kind of emergency thing comes up. We have in Florida, we get hurricanes every now and then, something like that. So basically, this is the Summer A 2022. This may or may not be your syllabus, but just in general, the syllabus will be set up weekly, like this one is, what goes on each week. So this is all covered for week 1. These are all the sections. These are the required MyLab assignments. This over here is extra practice, no credit for that. So you can do these, but you're not going to get points for these. These are where you get the points for over here. So this is all the stuff for this week or whatever week you're in, and then there'll be an exam. So expect, typically the exams are on Monday. It seems to work out the best. I've tried lots of different things and exams on lots of different days. For some reason, Monday always seems to be the best day to give an exam. And I'm assuming that's because students have some extra time when they're not in class on the weekends, and they can get more help on the weekends. If you're working a lot during the week, of course you might be working on the weekends too. But again, in general, Monday's always been the best day overall for students and exams and people showing up and getting stuff done on time and grades also. Week 2, this is the stuff, right, you got to do, and these are the concepts and so on. So there's our schedule, and these are just some learning objectives on there. So again, I know I wasn't able to answer every single question for everybody, but hopefully I did answer a lot of those. And feel free to ask anything that I missed, and then I'll be happy to answer those. Just remember, basically, get started right away in the course. Make sure you get registered in my stat lab right away. And I do want to say that my stat lab, if you're really like concerned, like you don't want to pay money and then like you're not sure you can even stay in it or make it or whatever, Pearson does have, you can get contact with them. Again, I don't have the information on it, but they usually will give the students up to 14 days in the course before you have to pay. And again, that it depends, and you're gonna have to talk with them about that. So I don't know all the requirements and how they go about handling that, but just go to their website, go to the help, and ask them, and they'll be glad to help. But you need to get in right away. So don't say, "Oh, I got money coming in next week. I'll wait till next week." Right? No, don't do that. You don't have to have the money right now. Uh, at least that's the way it's always been for years and years and years. And Pearson will do their best to help you get going for a little while before you have to, pay. And get your calculator, get started on that homework, look at everything. There's a lot of information in the syllabus. Make sure you understand the grading policy, what you're required of. Stuff comes around very quickly, and let me put the syllabus down here. Make sure you get to your Canvas site, and I will get that up and published here. It's showing not published, but yours will look a little different. See, if I click on Student View here, and see, yours is almost exactly like mine. There's a few things. Look for on the right here. See this right here? This is telling you already. The Unit 1 project is due by May 15th at 11:59. It's worth 10 points. And so that's already up and waiting. You won't be able to get to it till like Friday midnight. Usually I have those ready to go Friday, so you can put them in. Just the answers you're putting in. Takes you like 5 minutes. But you need to get that completed, right? So you go down to the Unit 1 project at the end of the week. You complete that, and then you click on this, and it'll take you right into the multiple choice quiz where you put your answers in there. So you don't have to email me anything. There's none of that. If you're an online student, they used to have to like mail stuff in or drop stuff off and or do stuff in another program online and submit it. This is actually works much better. So, and your answers, you get it grades immediately, and you know how you did, and it'll get right into your grade book right away. So the exam will show up here towards the end of the week and tell you when you can take that and so on. So, right, don't forget the announcements. Get into my stat lab. Get into my stat lab and get going into those problems and watch the videos and so on. Okay. I look forward to a good semester, and again, don't feel free to get in touch with me. Any questions that you have.